So I'm usually a pretty big wuss when it comes to horror movies, but I know there's a lot of great films in this genre, so I'm trying to be brave and branch out and watch some of them. So today I'm watching the 1986 sequel, Poltergeist 2. You can check out my reaction to the first Poltergeist film on my channel as well. I'm pretty skeptical with sequels because I find they're rarely as good as the first. It's hard to recreate that magic, of the first one, and you have the added pressure of trying to continue something that's, has this great, following and this great audience already. And this is 4 years after the first one, if I'm remembering correctly, and that's like quite a bit of time. Like usually it's like 2 years or 3 years. So I'm curious to see who will be back, who won't be back, what that's going to look like. I feel like that's kind of the key to a good sequel, is bringing back some of those elements from the first film. We ended the first Poltergeist with, the family's house obviously being completely destroyed. It crumpled up like this little piece of paper and just disintegrated into nothing. So there's definitely going to have to be some new sets. And we saw them, staying at this hotel and rolling the TV out as, the little girl was talking to the spirits through the TV. So they didn't want to do that, obviously. So yeah, I'm very curious to see which moments they're going to try and replicate, what new pieces they're going to bring in. I'm, anticipating that we're going to have some new characters. The scenes that stick out in my mind, it's been, I think, 2 or 3 years since I've watched the original. The pool scene and, the face melting scene in the mirror where his face starts peeling, and obviously, the little girl on the TV, the closet scene as well. So I'm very curious to see if they do any nods to those scenes or any kind of mentions of those moments. I really love practical effects, and given the time that this would have came out, I'm assuming it will be mostly practical effects as well, and I'm going to try and keep an open mind. My experience with sequels hasn't been the best, but again, you never know, so we'll see what this brings. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Okay, yeah, some of the cast I recognize. Yeah, Craig T. Nelson's name from the first one as well. The other side. Dun, 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 dun. I'm curious if that means we'll get to see some of the other side. We didn't really get to see it in the first one. Oh, those flames. That's... what? Whoa, those look cool. If I remember correctly, the house was on like a burial ground as well from the first one. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what happened. Yes, and I remember her as Carol Ann as well. I think having some of the clips from the first one in is a nice touch as well, considering it would have been 4 years later. And it looks like, yeah, the neighborhood is not doing well. So I'm curious if there's been a time jump in the movie world as well, or where we're gonna pick up.
Over here! I think we finally found the core.
I definitely recognize her as well. That swimming pool scene still haunts me to this day. Good night. I know I had heard rumors from the first one that those were real skeletons they used for the pool scene, so I'm hoping... Oh, God! Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Because these look pretty realistic as well.
That a boy, Guerrero! Did you see that, Robbie?
No, Dad, I didn't see it.
You gotta use your...
Yeah, they obviously still don't have a TV. Oh god, there's always the kids in the creepy drawings.
Yes. Yes. Well done.
Okay, so that's interesting. She's some connection to Grandma through these things.
They denied our claim again.
What?
I told you we never should have told him that the house vanished into thin air.
I mean, it would be hard to prove to the insurance company.
Tell the truth, and what do you get? Nada.
They say that if the house disappeared, then technically it's only missing.
Oh god.
Hey, Glow, like we used to do when we were kind of freaky, you know, the freaky Freelings on the road again, you know, that the family whose house...
He's lost it. What is going on?
If I give my...
Did Cookie really crumble?
Oh my. And we see them again focusing a lot on like the family dynamic like they did in the first one.
Am I interrupting again?
Hi.
Come on, Dodgers! Come on, let's go.
This kid's like, I really want a TV. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen.
It's a bargain.
Oh my god, yeah, he's a ghost. Run, kid, run.
Hi.
Are you lost, sweetheart?
That's so creepy. Yes, very much so.
Come with me.
No.
All right. I'll sing you a song.
Don't talk to strangers. Run.
She was just here.
Baby!
Oh my god, the stress. This would be like a nightmare.
Stopped into a shop. I thought you were right there with us.
Yep. Oh my god, people are just walking through them.
Honey, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, how do you explain that? And it was obviously traumatizing to lose your kid like that. Yeah, I think if these spirits want to talk to her, they'll find another way, even without the TV. That's not going to stop them. Yep, now they're calling her on her pink playphone.
I love you too. Good night, Grandma.
What? How? What? We know, yeah, we said her grandma said she had some, like, connection to these things and could see things and know things before other people did, but...
I knew you loved her so much.
If I didn't have one more day.
Oh, she passed away? Oh my gosh.
Grandma passed away last night.
Grandma died?
And I'm guessing Caroline knew, and that's why she went in to, like, kiss her cheek. Oh, man.
It's all right, Mom.
Yeah, like, how do you tell your mom that you just talked to, like, grandma on the phone? Oh my gosh. It was interesting to learn a little bit more about their family and the backstory, and obviously this connection is something that has been in the family.
Darling, you can be anything you want to be.
Oh my god, that's not ominous at all. And I was just gonna comment on like the really bright outdoor scenes, like almost slightly overexposed with like these, you know, very blooming bright roses. Oh my god! This has to be a dream, right? Oh my god, the zombies! Cheese and rice. They look terrifying. Oh! And completely gone. Yep. Oh, cheese and rice. But if Grandma can call, then who else can call? Yeah, there's a literal cloud over their house. Oh my god. And I love that shot, having the phone like in the foreground to make it look like powerful, and it almost looked red as opposed to pink from that angle.
Your costume does. Grammy? Who are you?
Oh my god, if that doll moves, I'm gonna poop my pants.
I don't remember.
The creepy man. Yeah, there it is. Oh my god, you've let everybody in. Cheese and rice. The toys are coming to life.
I am your friend.
It's giving me like closet scene flashbacks. Oh, oh my god, it's here.
Caroline, what's going on?
Cheese and rice. That looks really cool though.
Caroline, what are you doing? Caroline!
That's so creepy. I couldn't imagine, like, the spirits just floating around their room. I'm guessing it must have been the guy from the, that she was drawing and from the mall that called.
We're back.
Oh my god. They had to have the nod to the line. Yeah, they're not wasting time. Get out. Yeah, like we've done this before.
Let's go. You stay. We're gone.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I wouldn't be staying either, and maybe it will follow them. I don't know, but yeah, they've done this already.
Listen, children. You can't run from this thing.
Oh my god.
It has made contact and will stop at nothing.
What? What?
Be together. Be loving. Be brave. Mom.
Yeah, no kidding, Grandma? Oh my gosh, this poor lady's like, what's happening to me?
Mama.
I'm not your mother, lady.
She has no, obviously, idea what just happened. Oh my god, a message from the other side. I got goosebumps.
You mean that what?
Are you in cahoots with the lady in there?
I cahoot with no one.
The house is okay, you're sure?
Ebers agrees. It's okay for now.
The dogs always know. Pets always know. That's pretty cool. Those little butterflies. She's very excited.
His holy tent, earthly thought, be silent now.
This guy is creeping me out so much. Oh my god. Oh, look at that sudden rainstorm. And we saw the raindrops hitting the phone as well, and that's what like ignited this call.
Love talking to people, even on a rainy day.
His just like permanent smile creeps me out so much. Like I just, oh yeah, the dogs don't want it. Oh, they know.
Open your heart and your mind to what I'm saying. He is angel.
I don't know if that's foreshadowing or if this guy's just like being paranoid. We did see Taylor at the beginning getting that spirit. Oh god, she's getting like a vision.
Man enough to hold this family together.
Wow, wow, wow. He's like, you come to my house and say these things?
'Cause I'm smart.
I mean, he's not lucky in humility.
I know what you are thinking.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's just super creepy.
Let me in.
He was like in a trance almost. Like he was like repeating back what he said.
In there. All of you! You are gonna die!
Oh my god. It's giving me like Friday the 13th where like there's a character that, you know, gives this ominous premonition.
You're still unconvinced.
I mean, I guess we'll see if he's right. That's the scary thing.
Pleasure visiting with you. As we call upon his...
Oh my gosh. I don't know who the actor is that's playing the Reverend, but he's doing a good job of being creepy, and yeah, I'm curious to see if what he's predicting will come true. And he's a ghost. And of course the rain stops as soon as he disappears. Oh my god. I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's a decent sequel. I'm curious to see where it's going to go, but it's nice to see some of the same cast back, and they mentioned it had been a year later. Oh god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I never had braces, but I feel like if you did, this was your nightmare fuel. Cheese and rice. Oh my god, that was terrifying. They're literally just the wires coming out of his face. Oh my god! Oh my god, you can just see his eye left. Oh. Oh my god. What has even happened? It's really cool though, but terrifying. I'm curious to find out how they did it. It's like this web of braces. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yep. Jeez and electrocuted this poor kid with his own braces. What a freaking nightmare.
Why the hell won't you leave us alone?
Oh! It's like, you dare question me? Oh my god, you got...
Keeper, I am not dead.
Oh my god, I thought it was a radio he was talking through, but no, we got full-on ghosts. And the music just swelling. Oh my gosh. Oh, my heart.
It's the start of utopian society. They disappeared near Quest of Verda.
Is that, like, based on anything true? Like, I'm curious. That's a very interesting backstory. So creepy and so cool the way they're just like visualizing these spirits, and it doesn't look like, I'm sure if you wanted to pick it apart you could say it looked dated, but I think it still looks cool. And how they're like passing spirits through the fire and stuff is really cool.
Travel to incarnate. Your daughter is highly clairvoyant. As was your mother, I suspect.
Yeah, she has to have some abilities too. Yes, yes.
They seal themselves in the cavern because Cain tells them that the end of the world is coming.
Oh my gosh. So sad.
They are your power. And you are theirs.
That's interesting. Yeah, his family is his power, and I like that we got to learn more about this character and this Reverend. He seems like he's a great villain. He seems very despicable, and yeah, the history of their old house. Oh god, the worm and the tequila. Oh my god. What? What? The worm's possessed now? Oh my god. He's like, I'm gonna call this guy back and give him a piece of my mind.
Why, baby? Why are they here?
Because they don't know where else to go.
Oh my gosh, yeah, these spirits that were trapped. And that we learn more about Carol Ann's time, like, with the spirits from the first movie. Oh my god, it's a ghost graveyard out there. Yeah, all those people who are like, we had a taste of freedom, we want more. If he drinks this frickin' worm, oh god. God. Now he's possessed by the Reverend and is gonna start acting all kinds of crazy, I imagine. And no one's gonna know what's going on. I mean, possession through tequila worm is probably the first that I've seen, but hey, we'll give it a shot.
What do you mean?
Diane, I have needs too.
Well, it seems to me your needs have been fulfilled by the bottle tonight.
Yeah, is she just gonna think he's drunk and that's why he's acting this way? And he's already like a pretty boisterous character, so...
Being drunk?
I'm not accusing you of anything.
Yes, you are, but that's what you're thinking.
No, I'm not.
Yes, that's what you're thinking. I know you. That's what you're thinking.
And now he can read her thoughts, because the Reverend could read people's thoughts.
You remember just the other day when you were 7 and you were helping your mommy?
Oh my god. She's like, how do you know that? How would you know that memory?
How do you know that?
Because I am smart. Oh, Mommy Jess.
That's what the Reverend said. Oh my god.
You thought it. You thought it. You thought it. You thought it, baby. Shh. You thought about it.
This poor little girl. I'm sure everybody has thoughts like that you don't want people to hear or know about, obviously, but like, oh my gosh. This guy's poor girl.
David! I know you! I feel it! I feel you!
What is happening?
This is taking a dark turn. Oh my god.
What is happening?
Yeah, she has no idea what's going on. Oh my god. Oh!
We want the angel! The sweet!
Oh my god. This is grim. That's what they said his strength was his family.
I love you. Believe me, I love you.
Is it gonna bring him out of it?
What's going on?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
What is it?
Please.
Oh, what's the
He doesn't know what's going on, obviously. Oh my god.
What's the matter? What is it? What is it, Steve?
Oh, I got the... Oh! Oh my god. Oh, that's not a worm. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is... Oh, I'm gonna throw up. Good night. What the frick is this monster? Oh my... Ah! Oh my god. It's alive! Oh my god, he just puked that thing up. Cheese and it looked really cool, but so gross. Oh, it's shedding. Oh my god, it's a person. It's a person. Is that the Reverend he's puking up? Oh my god. It's so slimy. It's so creepy, but I love it as he squiggles out of there. Swoop. Bleh. Oh my god, it's back. And the music is so good as well. Oh my god, how many limbs does that thing have? Oh! Oh my god, is that a talon? Cheese and rice. Oh, bonked him. Oh my god. He's like, take that. Shoop. Just sucked him right out of there. Oh my god. Wow, does this guy have powers now? What was that? Yeah, like sucked this spirit thing right out of there. Oh my gosh. He's like, I was a little drunk, actually, not gonna lie. It's not helping things.
I'll check in here. All right.
And just the sound of like the house creaking, like almost like it's on the wall, like a boat or something like that, is just so creepy.
Robbie! Caroline!
Lights are flickering, that's never a good sign. Oh my god. Oh! But it's just the vacuum. Oh, cheese and rice.
Lift up the knob, sweetheart. Come on, honey, open the...
What is it?
Sweetheart, that wasn't Daddy upstairs in the bathroom. You know.
She's like, yeah, something was off. Something was off. Oh my god!
Dad, watch out!
It's a live wire. You gotta get out of there. You gotta get out of there. Yeah, if she wants to stay, fine. Just get out of there. Oh, don't forget the pup. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god, the chainsaw! Oh my god, I was not expecting a chainsaw. This poor car also. As the music just like builds and builds. Oh man. Oh, that sound. Oh, that was horrendous. Forget the bumper. It's fine. Go, go, go. You gotta invest in like a Ferrari or a faster car or something, man. Oh my god. That was horrendous. This poor house, all the lights are going off. The car's not looking good. They shouldn't even buy insurance at this point. I mean, they're not getting their money back. They can't explain this. Chainsaw to the roof. No one will believe that. My heart. Oh my god.
Many dangers you must consider, Stephen.
Yeah, just lower the whole family into a pit of corpses. Sure.
They're all reaching out for help that will never come.
Yeah, and especially since she has clairvoyant abilities as well, I'm sure this is like she can feel so much. Oh my god. Horrendous. Oh! What? They just get sucked into that thing? What? Oh my god.
They are gone. They have crossed over. Now we have to get them back, and you know how. Please!
But what else are you gonna bring back with you? Yeah. Corpse slide. I won't make my water slide joke that I made in the first one, but god, it's getting pretty close.
The entrance is through the flames.
Oh my god. Oh, I see their faces with the oh, that's terrifying. Oh my god.
Flies! Go through the flames! Now!
Oh my god. They just jumped right in. Oh my god. That's so... What? And to see them floating there. Oh my god. We didn't get to see this side in the first one, so that's cool. We get to see, I mean, it is just like a big nothing, but it's still cool they explored it. Oh, of course they're not alone. Oh. Oh no, oh no.
Take the land!
And instead of like a TV for our kind of portal. Oh my god! What? Did they turn into what? Oh my god. They like turned her old and then she died. Oh my gosh, this poor kid. And that the whole family has gone to the other side now in this one. And Carol Ann. Did she literally going to the light? Is that what we're doing? Oh my gosh, that's so sad. That's so sad.
It's too late.
Oh no. She's coming back. Okay, I don't know how that's happening, but here we go. Oh, an angel. Is that their grandma? Oh, I have so many goosebumps. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Your car. You asked. Yes. It's sure?
He's like, I mean, it's I guess the least he can do. Take the car. Yeah.
Started right up. Bye, Taylor.
Dad, you gave our car away? We need a ride home.
I mean, he should have probably offered to drive them home instead of leaving them stranded in the middle of nowhere, but hey. The car needs me. Advisor on Paranormal Phenomenon. That's cool. Interesting title. Very fitting for a movie like this. So it's my first time watching Poltergeist II, the 1986 sequel to the original Poltergeist film, and I enjoyed it. I think it was decent. There's no way to compare to the first one. I think you can't beat the first one, and I'm usually pretty skeptical of sequels. I feel like this could have been a lot worse for a sequel, especially given that, it was 4 years later. I feel like usually sequels that are successful come out pretty quickly after, but we had some of the same cast back, obviously, and yeah, I think this was decent. Would I watch it again? Probably not. Like I said, I think I've definitely seen worse sequels, but I feel like they kind of lost some of the momentum from the first one. It definitely had like a handful of really scary and spooky moments, which I think kind of saved it. Again, I probably wouldn't watch this again. And I know there is more in the series. Like, I think there's a Poltergeist 3 and maybe even a 4. Let me know in the comments if you think I should watch those as well. There definitely was a lot of dialogue heavy scenes, but again, we saw that in the first one. There was a lot of talking and a lot of, setting things up, which, I don't mind, but I think you kind of lose the momentum of some scary moments when you have these big breaks in between scary scenes. But again, you could make the argument that you need those scenes, to have characters that we care about, because if they're just dying off randomly, then why do we care about them? So it was great to see, some of the same cast back. I know that the actress who played the oldest daughter did pass away tragically in real life, so I wasn't expecting to see her in this, and she's not mentioned from what I saw at all. They didn't recast her, which I think was the smart choice. But yeah, I was wondering how they were going to kind of navigate that, and just not mentioning her at all. But I think she was old enough that they probably could have made up some reason that would have made sense if they wanted to, but I didn't hear anything. So I did like how they tied back into the original film. They mentioned where the house was. Obviously, we had a few clips from the first film as well, and we find out that they've been excavating this under the pool from that famous pool scene, and learning more about that, and we have that connection. That's where the Reverend comes from. His group of people that were following him and worshiping him were the bodies that were under the pool. So I thought that was an interesting connection. It wasn't a completely separate random storyline, and that makes me skeptical to think of the third or fourth or whatever it might be where they're gonna go, because I feel like this ties it up. Like, I think the first Poltergeist was a really neat, tidy one story. I think they could have just ended it like that. I don't know that they needed to add this sequel to it, but I understand people want to capitalize on the success of films and they want to continue that legacy. So I like that they had that nod to it, and we do find more about Carol Ann, and her mom has some clairvoyance abilities as well, and the grandma has some, clairvoyance abilities, and we lose the grandma character in this movie as well, but she's able to come back at the end and is the one who ultimately saves Carol Ann. But it was interesting to learn more about the backstory of those characters, because we didn't have that kind of family dynamic. Obviously, they were losing their house from the first one, so they needed somewhere to go and end up living with grandma. And even though it's been, 4 years in the real world, they find out it's only been a year time jump in the movie, and that they're trying to get back on their feet. Where do we go? Where do we live? Like, they want to get back and find their own house. And of course, they don't have a TV, and their son is very upset that they don't have a TV. But I mean, I don't blame them. But I felt like, if the spirits really wanted to talk to them, they would find a way. Not having a TV wasn't going to stop them. And they switched out the TV for, a play phone in this version, and to have grandma call, I thought was interesting. And then we find out, after that she has passed away. But of course, Carol Ann is the first to know these things. I think some parts were a little cheesy, but again, I wanted to keep an open mind, and especially, 80s cheesy movies are something I like, and having his family be this bond, and that's what can defeat this demon. And, the grandma being an angel and saving her at the end was a very sweet moment. And you typically don't see stuff like that in horror movies. And again, I don't think the body count for a body count, the grandma passed away, I'm assuming of natural causes. Like, there wasn't anything horrible that happened to her, and the family makes it out okay, even though they're deeply traumatized. Everybody is okay at the end, which again isn't really typical for a horror movie. I did see a different director's name come up, and I think that's another big piece, as well as having the same cast. I think having a same director or writer or anything like that continues, I think helps, that vision maintain the standard that we're used to. But I didn't see that, and again, this would have been 4 years later. Steven Spielberg, obviously had a very strong legacy. Tobe Hooper also had a very strong legacy at this point, so I'm assuming they were doing other things and maybe didn't want to, or maybe they didn't think that, Poltergeist needed a sequel. I'm not too sure, but I think it would have been a very different film if they would have been involved. They do have a nod to the iconic line. Instead of saying, they're here, she says they're back, with the phone. So I like that as well. And I like when they give those little nods to the audience who are watching and obviously saw the first one as well. We obviously have the new character of Taylor, this indigenous man who's helping them and trying to, guide them on the right path and showing them all these ways and saying, like, you can't run from this. They leave the house, in the first act of the film, basically, they're trying to run away. And he says, they're just going to keep following you. And then obviously we have the Reverend character added as well. And I don't recognize the actor's name. They did a great job. It was terrifying and so creepy. And again, it's like the subtle things, like he's just very friendly and like smiling, but it also felt very obvious that he was our bad guy from the beginning. I feel like there was no mystery in that. As soon as he, starts walking through people, we know he's this ghost, and him, talking to Carol Ann at the mall and going to their house and saying, oh, the other guy's lying, like Taylor's lying to you. Trust me, like, let me into your house. And it almost felt like they were trying to set him up like the devil and, calling him the beast. I know they didn't outright say the words the devil, but it felt like they were using some similar terminology. And, obviously we find out his backstory of being this religious leader and, telling his people that the world is going to end, and them, basically dying for him, and him trying to come back and not wanting to go to the light because he wants to stay. And his people, when Carol Ann went through the first time, they realized, what they could have. And I liked that they included that. I thought that was interesting, but again, I don't know that that would have warranted a whole movie. I like the effects they had with the fire and the fire changing color, and kind of the way like the spirit would like shoot in and out of people's mouths when they were possessed by it, and they had like these, abilities, and Taylor could kind of channel that energy. I thought was interesting. And the swirling light that we see around the kids' room almost reminded me, of the closet scene from the first one, with the toys starting to talk and move again. Some of the classic tropes. We see the little kid drawing something creepy, and that she could see color, with her hands was interesting. And I'm glad the grandma's character was able to bring that to us. But yeah, I have no idea where a third or fourth one would go. I feel like this, wrapped everything up. I feel like the third act, much like the first one, is where they saved, the best bits, like him drinking the tequila worm, and we know the worm's possessed. We can see its little eye glowing before he drinks it, and, attacking his wife, and because the Reverend is, basically taken over his body, and, Carol Ann knowing something is off right away, and just, be looking at her dad, but knowing it's not really him. And I don't think I've ever seen a tequila worm possession before, so that was interesting. And I think one of like the highlight scenes in this was him throwing up that worm, and the worm growing and becoming the Reverend's body. And I definitely need to look up how they did that. Let me know in the comments, because it was so realistic and so creepy at the same time. And yeah, this is only 1986. Like, I'm assuming that would have all be done practically, but to see it grow and, the bed's shaking and the lights coming from underneath, and he comes out and you see this like trail of slime behind him as, almost like his true like worm or like slug self. And it looked terrifying, and you can tell, that's the Reverend. Like, the Reverend had somehow come back into like a physical form while it was inside Stephen's body, and as soon as he threw him up, and that love is what makes him throw it up. Again, probably a little cheesy, but I that didn't really bother me, and that's what triggers Stephen to kind of come back and fight off this demon and is able to expel him from his body, basically. But yeah, that shot was so creepy, and I was not expecting anything like that. I am curious if they used real skeletons. Like I said, there was a rumor, I think, that there was real skeletons used in the first one, and some of these looked pretty realistic, and it's basically just this huge crypt, this huge tomb under their house where they used to live, and all these bodies. Like, it wasn't just one or two, it was so many, and there was some jump scares where they'd open a closet and they'd see like 6 skeletons, and then it would turn out to be the vacuum, and then they'd open another closet, and they did like a lot of those little pieces. And I think especially since the mom had these clairvoyant abilities as well, she probably would have seen those things. And the fact that the Reverend could, see their thoughts and read their mind, I thought was terrifying when Stephen, brings up the memory of Diane and her mom planting flowers. She's just like, I couldn't imagine having that conversation in real life. It would have been terrifying because that was obviously a very private memory, and especially after just losing her mom, and him saying that she never wanted Carol Ann, and just Carol Ann overhearing that as well was just such a tough scene. And I think they focused again on family dynamics like we saw in the first film as well. The scene with the braces, I've never had braces, but I can only imagine the horror of, this film, that scene, if you would have had braces in the 80s, what that would have done to you, because that was traumatic. Like, the wires start crawling out of his face and just like make this cocoon of metal basically, and start sucking in the other family members as well, and, electrocute him. Like, oh my God, just, possessed through braces and taken over by this metal entrapment was just nightmare. And, his one eye is basically just looking through with this panic, and Taylor's saying they don't want you, but still, like, he was clearly attacked. Like, that's horrible. And having the chainsaw attack the car as well, and this like floating, I'm assuming they would have used fishing line or something like that. But yeah, I'm very curious to learn more about the behind the scenes, the practical effects, about how they did some of those effects. I feel like the first one had more bigger effects, but again, I think a handful of scenes in this one is what saved it. I did see creature crew and an animatronics crew listed in the end credits, so that's always great to see. I think that's an underrated art form. I really appreciate the time and effort that would have gone into make those things practically and make them move and make them grow and make them come to life. I think it's so crazy the amount of work that would have gone into it, and just how cool they looked. I'm sure some of it, like I said, you could probably pull it apart and say it looks dated, but to me it would look just so creepy. Much like, the title, Poltergeist II, The Other Side, we did in fact get to see the other side in this one, which I think is something that I kind of was wanting in the first one. It wasn't anything crazy, it was just this big empty space, which, again, that was their creative choice, and maybe for budget reasons, I don't know, but to see, Carol Ann and her mom floating over here, and then Stephen and Rob floating over here and trying to get to each other, and, they are able to reconnect, but Carol Ann floating to the light, I think if you didn't know that there was a third one, that would have been, an extra gut punch, because you think they would have, finally taken her, especially after everything that she had gone through in the first film and then this film. But to see Grandma come to the rescue as an angel and sends Carol Ann back to her family, and, they're able to escape and maybe not live happily ever after, but, we did have that comedic moment at the end where Taylor takes their car, and then he's like, oh yeah, I need my car, and like runs after them. That last scene did feel a bit rushed. Like, I think they spent more time on Stephen being possessed by the worm, and then when they actually get to their old neighborhood, that whole scene is 10 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that. Like, it feels very quick. Overall, I thought it was a decent sequel. Like I said, I probably wouldn't watch it again anytime soon. I would definitely rewatch the original. I think those handful of, practical effects scenes with the lights and, that worm thing that he threw up and the braces, I think those moments really saved it. To me, this wasn't like edge of your seat, nail biting thriller. It's much like the first one. There's a lot of dialogue setting things up. And again, right away, we know that the Reverend is basically a bad guy. There wasn't any mystery there. We do learn the backstory of the house, which I think was cool. We learn more about Carol Ann and her family, this line of women who've had this clairvoyant ability, which I thought was interesting, again, that we didn't really get in the first one. And I'm curious and also a little worried to see where the third one goes, because again, I feel like the first one wrapped things up neatly. This one, again, we've found out more about the home and we've explored that route, and we had, Taylor come in and, the Reverend as a new character as well, but Reverend was tied to the house, so I have no idea, please no spoilers, but where the third one would go, because I feel like they'd have to make up a whole new storyline, and that's where I get even more skeptical of sequels, because it just seems so convoluted and so forced. This, I still feel like we had some of the original cast, it was a decent sequel. I like that we got to finally see the other side, even if it wasn't anything, amazing. And it's like, what are you gonna do now? You're not gonna have phones and TVs. Like, at some point they're gonna have to figure things out. I liked how they were able to use the fire at the end to kind of reach into the other side. Like he was able to send a weapon down to Steven, and how they were able to, again, everybody survives, everybody makes it out. The dog lives, which I love. I hate seeing, animals die in horror movies. It's always so hard to compete with the first one, but, I thought this was decent. Like I said, I've definitely seen worse sequels, but thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Yeah, they obviously still don't have a TV. There's always the kids in the creepy drawings. Yep, now they're calling her on her pink playphone. Oh my god, if that doll moves, I'm gonna poop my pants. Electrocuted this poor kid with his own braces. I mean, possession through tequila worm is probably the first that I've seen, but hey. That's what the Reverend said. Oh my god. They just puked that thing up.